Call the roll.
Item K.
I'm going to let her clear the door. Clerk Hastings, please call the roll.
President Chisum.
Present.
Trustee Basu. Trustee Basu is absent. Trustee Hughes. Trustee Hughes is absent. Trustee Lair. Trustee Lair is absent. Trustee Smetana.
Here.
Present. Trustee Terrell, listening in but absent. And Trustee White, present.
Present.
We have 3 present and 4 absent.
Okay, well, we do not have a quorum. Trustee Terrell is on vacation in Colorado with his family, and so he asked to call in so he could listen to the proceedings. But he will not participate in the meeting, because you can only participate electronically if you are away from the meeting for health reasons or business. And he's on family vacation. So we do not have a quorum, and we need 1 more trustee. And so if being no quorum is present, then I have a statement. I am greatly disappointed my fellow board members could not make time to attend a special meeting today. The purpose of the meeting was to formalize the board's November 10, 2008 vote to withdraw the Kenilworth Historic District nomination via an ordinance. This meeting was only called once a quorum was confirmed. However, village staff received word late yesterday that there may not be a quorum available. Once the possibility of a quorum was in doubt, I reached out to those trustees who I knew may be available today to encourage them to attend this important meeting. The meeting was to be very short and only intended to formalize the previous unanimous decision by the board to withdraw the Kenilworth Historic District nomination from the November board meeting. Since there is not a quorum, I will reschedule a special village board meeting for the board to consider an ordinance of the intent not to pursue a national registered district. I'd like to make this brief statement as to why this meeting was called. This meeting is in response to a conversation with Mr. Bill Wheeler, Illinois Historic Preservation Agency Preservation Services Director. On November 5, after the referendum, Mr. Wheeler indicated the agenda for the December 5, 2008 Historic Sites Advisory Council meeting was not formal or finalized, and that agenda would be finalized within the next 10 days. Based on this information, I thought the village board had time to consider the referendum results at their November 10, 2008 meeting and determine whether or not the nomination should proceed for review by the Sites Advisory Council on December 5. November 10, 2008, the village board voted unanimously to request a withdrawal of the Kenilworth nomination. This week, Mr. Wheeler informed me and Manager Burke he had received calls from trustee Christy Lair indicating the November 10, 2008 vote by the village board to withdraw the nomination was not an official action by the board. According to Mr. Wheeler, trustee Lair stated an ordinance was needed to formalize the board's intent regarding the nomination. The residents also urged the IHPA to keep the Kenilworth nomination on the agenda for the December 5, 2008 Historic Sites Advisory Council meeting for possible action. This information caused me great concern. The Kenilworth Historic District nomination is still on the December 5, 2008 Illinois Historic Sites Advisory Council's agenda as of today's date, which means the public input process for the Kenilworth nomination is still ongoing. I believe the November 10 vote by the board to withdraw the nomination and unanimous vote affirming this board would not pursue another National Register nomination without first going to the voters in a referendum is clear direction for the state. However, I felt it necessary to call this meeting to formalize the November 10 direction of the board via an ordinance. I have always intended to formally bring an ordinance before the village board for the withdrawal of the nomination at the December meeting. The purpose of this meeting was simply for the board to consider the ordinance prior to our next regular meeting slated for December 8, 2008, which is after the December 5, 2008 state meeting, in order to give clear direction to the state and bring closure to this contentious issue. To reiterate, the state has not directed the village to adopt an ordinance withdrawing the nomination. However, there are those in the community that have caused state officials to question if the unanimous November 10, 2008 vote of the village board to withdraw the nomination is an official action by the village. There is no doubt in my mind that the November 10 vote was an official action by the board to withdraw the nomination, and the direction of the board was clear. An ordinance would only serve to formalize a previous action by the board. That's the end of my statement.
You're preaching to the choir.
The updated information from the state, the latest information that we have that's been given to the village, and I'll just share it with you just for your information, is that they have received over 500 letters into Springfield. 396 are in opposition and 133 support, which kind of goes along in the same sequence of the vote of the referendum. For you, I've had a number of individuals ask me why the November 4 referendum did not count. Well, it does count. Certainly the state will take it into consideration, but the referendum is a non-binding referendum. So that means that the official vote count is used through the letter campaign for and against. And so if there's no letter received from a property owner or property owners, then the way it's structured, that is a vote for the historic district. And so letters in opposition then would be obviously counted as being opposed. So that is the latest information I have, and since we don't have a quorum, we don't have an official meeting. And Tom, are you still on the line?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Will you announce the date of the next meeting?
I'm working on that now, Tom, and we really shouldn't have any conversation about that because this is not an official meeting. And so I will go out. We're going to set a date, and so I will come up with some dates. Hopefully that we can get three of the 6 trustees here, so we can formalize and ratify the ordinance.